Hi there everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command, vanilla standard game. And I've gone ahead about 10 minutes and done some basic things. Let's take a look at where we are. First of all, we want to look around, because I've put some priority numbers on here. We've got some different things in the systems. I took a little bit closer look. So, Tethys. Well, that's interesting. All it shows us is Planet Cloak. Let's take a closer look at what all that is about. We've got a scout here. Why can't we see anything? Well, we've got a Planetary Cloaker. Highly advanced cloaking device. All team ships on the planet which this resides are utterly invisible, even if they're firing, even if they'd normally be visible. Immune to tachyon beams and tachyon missiles. So, basically, we can't see anything here except for that. And given that it's got a very small health, no attack, all that kind of fun stuff, does have an armor of 20, but I think this would be an excellent candidate for sending human raid starships in. And if we look very closely, check out that little amber thing. And, you know, I don't know if that's intentional, but it's pretty clear that's one of those little shields that surrounds a core shield generator. If we get rid of other core shield generators, we might be able to figure out what that is. Okay, so that's Tethys. The P2s here, like Titan, it's got a D secondary. There's really no other good reason to be interested in that. This is a D secondary core shield generator. Frozenzin has one as well, but it also has a backup design server, which is why it's a P4 there. And that is holding the bulletproof fighter, good anti-bomber fighter. So we may want to consider that in the future. And Hygeia, nothing particularly interesting there. Calypso, the same. It's got a Mark I ion cannon. Again, nothing too exciting. Same with Karen. And then Vidate has a nuclear eye, as does one of the others. I think Palma? Nope, it's not Palma. There it is. Kato Nemoida. Now we'll get back to Palma in a second, but let's take a look at what the nuclear eye does. There we go. And that's this thing right here. It's got a 30-second countdown. And like the other eyes, you basically just can't outnumber the AI 2-to-1 or it will activate. Nuclear Eye will detonate and destroy everything that isn't immune to nukes on the planet, including the command station, and incur the usual plus 50 AIP for detonation of a nuclear warhead. Nothing of value will remain. Well, that sucks. So, I mean, they're kind of like Plasma Eyes, only they have a countdown, but their casualty is much worse. We definitely would not want that to go off. And since there's no other good reason to take them, there's nothing else of value, really, I think the Vidate and Kato Nemoida, we're going to leave those alone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Okay, so Palma. First of all, they've got a Mark IV ion cannon. Isn't that lovely? Now, keep in mind, this is not a Mark IV planet. Look at all this other stuff. Mark II. But, you know, they still get a Mark IV ion cannon, which can fire at 4 ships at once. Insta-kills pretty much any fleet ship that we're going to be able to build for a very long time. Because only the Mark Vs would be immune to it. Now let's also take a look at this right here. This is the counter guard post that we talked about in the setup. And guard posts with practically no guns will warp in a counterattack wave to any human planet without a warp jammer. These counterattacks are announced when this guard post is destroyed. Must be destroyed before humans can damage the AI command station on this planet. So you can't take this planet without taking this out, and then that will give us a counterattack wave. And then one other thing over here in Kato Nemoida that's interesting is this right here, the Anti-Starship Guard Post, the Arachnid Guard Post. Can't fire upon most small mobile targets. High-powered lasers can do grievous harm to large or mobile targets, such as starships, etc. And this is sort of, it's not exactly the same, but it's sort of the version of to starships what the ion cannon is to fleet ships. You don't want starships to get in range of this at all. And you see the scout multiplier of 0, so it can't even harm scouts at all. Okay, so that's what we've got when we look around. Well, what do we notice from all of this? The big thing that jumps out to me is we're going to have to take down the D secondary, and I'm not a big fan of taking Frozengen or Titan, just because, you know, the Mark III's this early in the game. It wouldn't hurt me to have another planet next to Deimos. 3 metal isn't great by any stretch, but it's an easy target to expand our economy a little bit, and the chances that we're going to find another planet with the D secondary core shield generator that's going to work better for us are pretty remote, I think. Now let's take a look at what we've got set up. In Ixion, I haven't put in the mines, but I have, you know, the turrets set up, and it's just the one set headed towards each vector here. So it's a fairly small group, but those are there. And then back in Deimos, I've built some more ships. And I got all the rest of our bombers built up. I built another space dock to get all of our regular fleet ships going. Got this paused for now. But I also built half, roughly, almost half, of our fleet cap on the fighters, the missile frigates, and the space tanks. So we have a little bit more to work with now. And we're almost done with our research here. So I think the next thing I want to do is I want to take Quayar, but I also want to do some scouting. Because after that, it's not really clear what I want to do. I don't think I have the metal yet that I want to start a big hacking progress and take that over. I also don't think that I need it fleet-wise yet. So I think I want to do a few things. Take Quayar, and I want to gradually build up a reserve of metal, a modest amount, maybe a few 100,000, and get the scouts out further. And if I'm going to make a serious scouting effort, I really need to invest and go up to the Mark III. So I want to do that, and we'll just unlock the Mark III scout drones. And that takes us down to just over 2,000. But we've got a few hundred more on this planet. We're going to be able to get 3,000 there, 3,000 there. And one other advantage, by the way, of taking Quayar is you've got these 3 systems that it's connected to, all of which are the weak Mark II kind. And so it's going to add another system, because this one's on alert. Tethys already is alerted as well, but we're going to add Palma and Cato Nemoida. So we're going to get one more system that's a weak system where they can just throw in ships. And therefore the AI reinforcements will be spread out a little bit as well. So that'll be nice. But really, I think I'm already, even though this will only be 3 systems, I'm at the point where I need more information. So I'm gonna add the fighters to the group that hits Quayar, not anything else, because I don't want to slow them down with the slower frigates and space tanks. They can stick around as sort of a mobile defense. And then I'm just going to add this to the queue. And in between scouting runs, hopefully we're going to build up some reserve of the metal. So that's how I'm going to approach this. Let's see how it works. So here we are in Quayar, and I believe we've just finished our scouts, so that we're starting to save up metal. I'm going to send those out in a moment, get the colony ship and engineers set for here. But one thing that makes this planet actually easier to deal with than Ixion was, is that we've got the Needler Guard Post. It's the only one. No bonuses against our fighters or bombers. And they do have a force field, but it's actually over the Special Forces Guard Post, which we could care less about. Really, you know, so that's a bonus to us. And that meant that this was going to go pretty quickly. One side effect of taking over Quayar was that Tethys was now on alert. And so I wanted to take out this Planetary Cloak before it got any stronger. Sent in a human raid starship to do that. And we're getting shot at, but now not anymore. So let's go ahead and go back home. And yeah, it's a good thing I checked it out, isn't it? Advanced Research Station, A Prime Core Shield Generator. That changes my calculus just a bit. As you can see, I've done a bunch of scouting. Get to that shortly. I want to make sure we get out of here, okay? And we've got some ships who are stuck here because of spider damage. And now we're just going to wipe them up. Beautiful. Alright, so we have scouted all of the nearby systems, and we could scout further, but I don't really want to. Let's get into why a little bit. We've discovered some more backup design servers. We've got the one in Frozenzen, but also got one over here in Pretoria, one in Europa, one in Ganymede. So we've got lots of choices when it comes to that. I don't really think I need to go that route just yet. And then we've got some other goodies. Now obviously this is going to be a primary target. The Advanced Research Station, A Prime Core Shield Generator, and also the only thing it borders, other than the planets we already have, is Merapi, which is a Mark II planet. So we're fine with putting that one on alert instead. So I think I want to take Tethys as soon as possible. Now we've got some other stuff here. Vampire 5 Fabricator, I'm not familiar with that ship. Fat Samurai, also a Parasite 5 Fabricator. That might be worth considering. We've got Benegane, B Secondary, and Mark IV Starship Constructor. The only problem with that is we'd have to defend it, and it's bordering all kinds of stuff. It's right in the middle. It's got 2 Mark III and a Mark IV planet, among other things, bordering it. That would be really hard to defend. 3 Mark III, excuse me. That would be really hard to defend at this stage of the game. However, Massalia over here, a Mark IV factory, is the reason I actually didn't try to scout any further, because I probably could have gotten over into this. But that's got the advanced factory. It's also got an autocannon 5 fabricator, which is not that exciting, but it's a nice little bonus to be thrown in there. And if we look at where it's situated, to take it, we could take Karen, which has 4 metal, and Calypso, 5 metals. We could expand our economy, then hit Massalia, and the only thing that would border it would be Luna, which is a Mark III planet, but this still is a nice area. Calypso would be completely cut off from bordering anybody, and so we'd only have the one opening. So I really like that idea. I think this is too hazardous. I don't think I'm quite ready to do any of the hacking. And then the other thing is Elada up here that has a data center that we'll want to go raid and hit eventually. So, and probably just gonna straight, send some raid starships through Frozenzen, Titan, and on we go. So I could do that at any time. That's actually probably going to be the next thing that happens. But I think at this point, now Tethys has a couple force field generators, but they're over the command station shield and the Special Forces Guard Post. So it's got a laser, a missile, and a needler. Good variety, but also has a Parasite Eye. And when we outnumber this one, multi-barrel rail cannons, reclamator payloads. In other words, it'll, just like the Leech Guard Post we saw at the end of the last game, it'll turn our own ships against us. Once again, we're in a situation where we're going to want to try to use higher mark ships or starships. And I do also want to beef up our defenses. So I think the best thing I want to do here, get more raid starships, hit that data center, just to knock down that AI progress a little bit, and then gradually build up our defenses a bit, and get whatever ships we can, so that we can hit Tethys, then Karen, Calypso, Massalia. I think that's going to work out the best for us. Then at the end of that, we would have 7 systems. So this one has 5 metal. So 3 of our systems that we would take have a decent amount of metal, and the 4th one, Massalia, has some very nice goodies. We would only have, after all of that, 1 Mark III system, only no Mark IVs on alert. And we should be sitting in a pretty good position to expand further. Plus, then we'd get the Mark IV Scout from there, which can go float throughout the rest of the galaxy and tell us everything that's going on. So I think that's going to be a really good way to approach this. So here we've got our 3 raid starships, and I want to go ahead and take out that data center while I let the metal build up just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and follow along with them as they go on their merry way. See how much damage they take going through Titan. And of course, speed is their main advantage. Now I want to make sure that I just hit the data center. There we go. Down to 37. Now let's just head back. And we did produce, of course, some more threat in that process. It looks like we're going to survive. And indeed we did. Go and join up with the rest of the fleet, and one of them pretty badly damaged. But it did live, and now it'll get repaired. I think this is a good place to break this off. We've got about a planet and a half left, half of Ixia and all of Quair, of research yet to do, so we can build up more research. I want to probably unlock a couple things to make this upcoming attack a little bit easier, and then work on like upgrading turrets and stuff after that. But for the moment, I just want to, it's going to be a period of time of just some fairly boring, just building up things, getting more prepared. And then when I resume, it'll be time to take on Tethys. So thanks for watching. More AI War coming up, and that attack will proceed then.